Hello, everyone. Back here for my Friday Faith and Finances. My name is Jody Barber, and I am deeply passionate about helping women specifically who feel really stuck in their finances find ways to develop multiple streams of income to really take their finances back. And then to also be able to pursue the things that they're really deeply passionate about. I don't really know where to look. I feel like I've got a video there, but my face is here. Anyway, so live video problems. But I have been really encouraged by so many of the conversations that I've had with so many of you. I've gotten really incredible feedback on several of these videos that I've done and some of the guests that I've been able to bring in. And I just want to tell you, I've got a lot of things up my sleeve, and I've got a lot of things that I'm kind of working on. Most specifically, I am currently working on a resource for women who are like, I've never even really given space in my brain to thinking through developing multiple streams of income. I don't even know what's out there. I don't even know where to start. And this resource will really help walk and guide you, specifically for women. If you are a man who's interested in this, you are welcome to check it out. But if you are interested in really like getting a hold of this resource once I have it created, just drop me a comment below and say interested, and I will put you on a list of people to contact first once I kind of create this. But a resource just to walk through, what are the options out there? What are the pros and cons? What are the things that you need to consider when thinking through developing multiple streams of income? So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's on the horizon. But today, what I wanted to talk about is, the wisdom behind considering and developing multiple streams of income. Thank goodness, over the past probably 15 years, because of the internet and because of just social media and the ability to network and the ability to just the opportunities that are out there through that, multiple streams of income has become more and more of a common conversation that people are having, and a common thing that many people are pursuing, men and women. But I am speaking mostly to women here because my story is 5 years ago when Bobby and I were walking through a lot of transition and had just had 3 kids in less than 4 years. It was crazy town. And our finances really took a plunge, and we were in a very, very scary place financially. I was at a point where I was finally open to considering developing a stream of income outside of what I was used to. Before that, I had been full-time in vocational ministry, loved it. But for me at that time, it did not make sense for me to go back to doing the only thing that I had ever known. So at 35, here I was with 3 kids, very small children in my house, with a budget that didn't pay our bills, and trying to think through, how do I make $500 extra a month just to make ends meet, just to keep our heads above water. That was when I discovered this world of network marketing, and I was open to it, and I was open to asking questions, and I was open to really considering something that I had never considered before, because I was at a place in my life that kind of had forced me to be at that point. And then, as you know, that was 5 years ago. I've stayed in this world of network marketing. I have been part of 2 different companies, and as I've journeyed into this, and as I've gotten kind of a front row seat to other people's lives who have also entered this world, as I've gotten to help literally launch a company into network marketing from the very beginning, I've just observed a lot. And I think one of the things that I have seen over and over and over again is just the life change that happens when someone steps into something that they had never considered before, but were willing to educate themselves on and willing to try and to step out of their comfort zone. Just the life change, not only just in being able to create a stream of income, but what that opportunity opened up for them in terms of future possibilities as well. It's really an incredible world. So as we are coming to an end in 2021 and looking to 2022, one of the things that I want to really challenge you with is, how are your finances? Are you able to do the things that you want to do? Are you able to give in the ways that you want to give? And, you know, is there room and space for you to consider developing an additional stream of income? If 2020 has taught us anything, it is that a lot of our traditional 9 to 5 jobs and even brick and mortar stores or brick and mortar commerce is not secure. And I think that as we're kind of in this new era of, wow, what just happened? What happened to my job? What currently is happening to my job? If you feel some insecurity there, just with all the crazy things going on, it is really smart. I am more convinced now more than ever. You cannot unconvince me of this, that it is absolutely essential for individuals and families to at least consider how they can develop streams of income and just learn about what is out there and what's available to them in addition to what they already have doing. So, okay, I am a woman of faith. That is the audience that I speak to the most comfortably. And I think that one of the things, and this is in Ecclesiastes, which is a book of the Bible, it is right smack dab in the center of the Bible, just past Psalm and Proverbs. And I think it's really interesting. This book comes after the book of wisdom, which is Proverbs. But this is so fascinating. So in chapter 11 of Ecclesiastes, verse 2, it says, "But divide your investments among many places, for you do not know what risks might lie ahead." It's like Ecclesiastes was written by King Solomon, and he has been said to be the wisest man. He literally asked God for wisdom. And God not only gave him wisdom, but also riches and resources. And, he was like a king of all kings. And he writes, Ecclesiastes is a very intriguing book in general, talking about how ultimately so much of this life, apart from knowing God, is meaningless. I would encourage you to go read this book. It is fascinating if you don't have any sort of background in faith. It is very, very, very fascinating. But what he says in here was, it really just struck me. It's like, it is actually literally wisdom to develop income and to diversify that, and also to diversify where you are investing that income. Because as we have just experienced this past year, we don't know what lies ahead. It literally says, we don't know what risks might lie ahead. So this is not coming from a place of fear or some sort of weird control. This is literally just walking forward in wisdom, and also having that supported by what scripture actually has to say. So when I was just kind of thinking through this, I'm like, what are the things that really hold people back from considering additional streams of income? And I have kind of a little thought about this. What are the things that really hold back people? One, I think it's fear. I think, if we don't know or understand something, our brain just automatically is like, oh, can't do it, can't think about it, can't consider it. And unless you're really in a desperate situation like I was 5 years ago, it's like, well, and I don't really have to think about it. But what I would say is, even if you are in a secure place financially and it seems as though your job is not going anywhere, I would still encourage you to at least consider this, because you don't know what lies ahead. You don't know. It's just wisdom. I think the other thing that holds people back is they kind of assume what the different ways are of developing streams of income without actually doing research and actually educating themselves. And then they just think, well, I can't do that. What I get a lot in my, in network marketing is, well, I'm not a salesperson. I'm like, well, I'm not either. I'm sharing something that I love with people, and some people buy it and I get a commission for that. The same way that I share that I love, Starbucks or these nickel and suede earrings. I love these. I tell everybody about these earrings. I'm like known as the earring lady. I don't get a commission for this. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just a simple reframing. Sometimes I think people just don't know what the options are. Or, sometimes it's like if you've been on a certain track of education, your brain can tell you, well, but if I went to school for that, which you guys, I went to school for journalism. I've done literally zero with journalism and I've figured out how to make money and I'm not using my degree. But like, I think that, sometimes what keeps us from really exploring things is, well, but I went to school to major in this thing. And shouldn't that be the only thing that I ever do with my life? Maybe it is. I'm really glad that doctors go to medical school and then stay doctors. I'm really glad that teachers have degrees in education and teach, which, by the way, bless you, teachers. You guys are you're my favorite people on planet Earth in this season. So sometimes it's just this closed-minded, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I mean, literally, it's a closed-mindedness to something other than like, well, I should only make money in the thing that I went to school to be trained in. Maybe you should. And if it works out for you that way, that's amazing. But I would say for a majority of you out there, it has not worked out that way. It's not worked out that way that you went to school for a particular skill or degree, and then that's what you did for the rest of your life, forever and ever. Amen. Another thing that I think really gets in the way is the opinions of others. I just did a reel on Instagram about this. I think that, there's a lot of opinions out there about commerce, jobs, what it could or should look like to develop streams of income, or even to develop wealth. And some of those opinions are helpful. Many of them are not. And I think that as human beings, we have a very difficult time sifting through the opinions of others and the perceptions of others, or even what other people are projecting onto that thing that you might be interested in. Particularly if you are a woman who is interested in starting a business, and then all of a sudden the opinions start rolling in, no matter what industry you're starting that business in, I would really encourage you to find a group of other like-minded women and mentors who can help you sift through all the opinions and the thoughts out there and help you figure out what the best decision for you and for your family is. So many opinions. Oh my goodness. And I think that a lot of times as women, those can feel pretty crushing. Another thing that really can get in the way of us developing multiple streams of income is that, we sometimes have a hard time working hard. It's like work ethic. It's hard to start a business. I'm not saying that this is easy. There's no easy money out there. There's no easy ways to develop streams of income, but there are smart ways to develop streams of income. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've kind of tried a little bit. It's not a very long list. It's like maybe 3 things, but just to give you a little bit of a picture. And then some things that some friends have like really considered. So obviously I've been in network marketing, but my previous run with network marketing with a different company, I was fulfilling and making what my family needed to pay our bills. That I was able to do no problem. But in terms of like generating extra cushion and margin and being able to give more and do things like vacations, basic vacations with our family, I knew that it wasn't going to be enough. I wasn't very passionate about what I was selling. And so it was God's provision for our family. And I will forever be so grateful for that season of my life. I learned so much as an entrepreneur. Definitely the on-ramp for me was through that company. But I also started teaching English online to these sweet kids in China. And I worked for a company called VIP Kid. And basically what I would do is I would wake up and get my butt out of bed at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning because they're 12 hours ahead. So they would book classes for when they got home from school. I get my butt up and I'd march myself down to the basement with my cup of coffee. My sister bought me a coffee warmer that I now use up here in my office because I'm like, oh my God, I can't drink my coffee during the class. And I was able to work from my computer in the basement before my kids woke up, before my kids got ready for school, or Bobby would often do breakfast with the kids and kind of get them ready for the day while I finished up teaching. And that saved our family again in that season. But I didn't know that something out there was like that, there was something out there like that. Another option that one of my dear friends, Kayla, considered for a long time was having someone come and live in their spare room in their home to develop a stream of income because they were needing some margin. And it's like, okay, well, if we could have someone come live in our house and they pay us, $400 a month, well, that's a hefty, that's a hefty little margin. Oh, the other thing that I think gets in people's way is this mentality of all or nothing. It's like, well, if I'm going to do something, I need to do it to the nth degree. But like I have talked about here in so many different places is, yeah, maybe go for it. That's what I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm running my businesses to the nth degree. Like we're shooting for the stars. However, also remember that 5 years ago, $500 extra for my family was literally life-changing, transforming. It was completely transforming. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Really examining your situation and being honest with yourself about what would $200 extra a month give my family options to do. I mean, like name stuff, assign those dollars to something that is of value to you, that you want to do, that is going to allow you to shape your life around the things that you value most, that you care about most. Yes, my dear friend Tracy is on here watching. Tracy wanted the freedom in retirement as her, she and her husband had been in full-time vocational ministry for years and years and years and years. But also, as a grandmother and wanted to be able to do something to support her health so she could feel healthy, so she could take care of her health, from the inside out, and also have the energy to be able to spend time with her grandchildren and have the income to supplement their retirement instead of, spending all that time substitute teaching or, doing the things that was actually taking away time from her family and her grandkids, but to be able to still supplement their income and still have that freedom to go spend time with her grandkids. Or like, if her children needed a weekend away with their spouse, go stay with her grandkids for a weekend, and she could do that because she had that freedom. Anyway, it's so beautiful what this has opened up. I know I've shared this too, but another dear friend of mine that I work with right now in my current company, she literally saved her family from going into foreclosure in their home. Like creating a side gig business saved their family, saved their home. It literally saved their home. And so this is a big deal, you guys. This isn't like, oh, there's these people with these little side gigs or these, multiples, these streams of income. It's like, no. I am seeing women especially activated and open to something that they had never considered before, stepping into it without knowing every single detail or having every single skill set, and just taking a step of faith and being open to that. And then watching as their lives are literally transformed. Transformed does not have to be $1 million. That would be great. You can do a lot of good with $1 million, but that does not have to be the definition of life change through opportunities like this. So this is what I'm going to leave you with, okay? As you are entering 2022, I want you to honestly ask yourself, or whenever you're watching this, maybe it's February of 2022, we've already started the year. I want you to honestly ask yourself, how could developing a stream of income change your life? Don't talk yourself out of it before you even know what the options are. Just think about it. What would an extra $100 in your budget do? What would an extra $300 in your budget do? What would an extra $1,000 a month In addition to what you already have going on, what would you do with that money? What would that help? What goals would that help you reach? What people would that enable you to serve? What, organizations could you give to? I mean, really think about it. Then, once you've determined, okay, I could really benefit from an additional stream of income or a couple additional streams of income, then I want you to get smart and savvy and start doing your research and start asking questions. Life is too short to spend our time overthinking and overanalyzing every single thing that we do. Stop doing it. Please stop it. Just stop it. And I want you to go out and I want you to do your research and I want you to ask questions of people you trust who have stepped into this. And I want you to know that 87% of Americans are doing this. If you're watching me from America, this is what we're doing. 87% of Americans have a side gig, an additional stream of income to what they're already doing. And don't be so proud. Don't be so proud that you're too good for this or that you couldn't benefit from this. It is absolutely not true that you couldn't benefit from an additional stream of income. Not true. So that's what I want you to do. Identify what you could do with an extra 100, 300, 1,000 or more dollars a month. And then I want you to get curious and I want you to really understand what your options are out there. Ask questions, research it. Talk to me. I'm going to share with you my opportunities, but also I'm going to tell you about all the other things that I have come to realize are out there. I'm so excited about the opportunities that there are to create streams of income online, literally from home or your phone. It is crazy. And it's not just network marketing. Although, in my opinion, network marketing is the best one. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you guys have an amazing start to your December. I'm going to keep coming on here and talking about these things because I'm so deeply passionate about them. And I hope that you guys have a great Friday.